Hello and welcome to whatever it is this is. A bunch of CCS students and I thought that it would be a good idea to make some videos to just spread some cheer to people right now during these trying times and to try to maintain our community together since we might not be seeing everybody on a daily basis now. And let's be honest, most CCS students are dying for the opportunity to put me in front of a camera, see what I could do to make a fool of myself, and then they could make fun of me for the rest of their high school, college, and the rest of their lives. But it's not gonna happen! Just roll the intro.
In today's episode, we take a look at various lives of CCS students, both past and present. We start off with Christina Axelson as she shares a day in her life, from egos to bedtime. Then we move all the way to New York as we check in on Sophia, Olivia, and Angie as they take us through a short, brief, but grueling workout that's sure to burn many calories. But we're not done yet. We move on to Sydney Sherwood as she shares a beautiful and passionate song about her grandfather called Horizon's Edge. Yet we're still not done. We move on to AJ Narvaez. If that's even how you pronounce his last name, I'm still not sure after many years of knowing him. It's confusing. But he shares his college experience over at Cairn University as he winds down his freshman year. We'll get the inside scoop of what it's like to apply to college, what it's like to be in college, and what it's like to live on a daily basis as AJ. I'm your host, Mr. Krauszer. This is the overly dramatic introduction that's completely unnecessary, but in a way, absolutely necessary. Now let's get started.
Hi, CCS friends.
Hi, Christina!
I am doing a day in the life. Cue intro music. I normally wake up at about like 10, and then I get about like 10:30.
Girl, you is sleeping your life away.
And then I go downstairs, make my breakfast, which is this. I'm gonna put in a different clip. I had a parfait.
Parfaits are delicious.
2 Eggos with peanut butter and syrup and some coffee. I know that's a lot of food. And now I am... Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I was just reading my Bible. So I'm done reading my Bible, so now I'm going to get to work. Good job. Jeez. I'm taking a lunch break. So these are taquitos. So that's what I'm eating. So when I finished my homework, I went and did a run with Krauszer. We are about to start mile 1. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Set, go. Yeah. So we passed the 1 mile mark. We're at 3.33. See those math skills right there. Until the next mile, 3rd mile. Woo! We're like at like 4.5.
4.50.
So
Exactly.
woo! 5 miles completed.
Yay.
Dab on them. Okay, so after we went on the run, I tried to do this like juggling thing. So, but I didn't do it. I didn't get it. So here are some clips of me getting very frustrated because I couldn't do it. This is so hard. What kind of accent is this? I never face. So yeah, after like an hour of trying to do this like pyramid juggling thing, I gave up and went inside. Just came inside and I was about to take a shower, but turns out that we have to eat dinner now. So I'm gonna help my mom set up the table. What do you need me to do? I have to come get yours broke up. Hey guys, so now we're eating dinner.
Hi.
It is pork chops and rice. So then after dinner, I took a shower and then had a Zoom call with my team. So normally at the end of the day, we either play a board game or watch Monk, which is the show that's currently playing. So yeah, after we finish Monk, I'm just gonna go upstairs and brush my teeth and go to bed. Caleb really wants to be in it, so.
Hi.
Okay. Here's a blooper I thought was really funny.
Thank you, Christina, for sharing your life with us. So now let's reflect on Christina's day and see what might apply to our own so that we can get better in our own daily lives as well. So cue up reflection time.
It's reflection time. Number 1, have a consistent sleep schedule. According to sleepfoundation.org, only 15% of teens report sleeping 8.5 hours, which is the recommended amount of sleep a teen should get on school nights. Now, because of our COVID-19 crisis, school nights are kind of blurred together, but it's still important to have a consistent...
Go to bed.
Because if you're waking up on different hours on different days...
What is this? This is no way to present information. Cue the overly dramatic narrator.
In a world where people like you don't get enough sleep on a daily basis, you have many consequences that you face. Like aggressive and inappropriate behaviors, mood swings, irritability, being cranky. You have decreased cognitive abilities like a lack of attention, lack of memory, lack of decision-making and problem-solving skills, which all lead to worse grades in an academic setting. But not only that, you're at a higher risk for potentially being susceptible to risky behaviors. You have the potential to overeat and gain unnecessary weight. And worst of all, you're more prone to acne and pimples. So next time you want to avoid the sits on your face, next time you want to avoid mood swings, next time you want to avoid poor grades in school, then put your head on that pillow and fall asleep. Count sheep if you have to. Get away from television screens and blue light and instead rest peacefully. Because if you don't, you might run the risk of these mood swings and irritability and lack of cognitive abilities. So don't be a stereotypical person that lacks sleep. Instead, sleep, and sleep some more. Roughly 8.5 hours of sleep on a daily basis. Set yourself up with a sleep schedule and stick to it. That is the way to be successful. That is the way in which you can do anything you want. And it all starts with putting your head on that pillow bed and getting some Z's.
Well, I guess thank you for that overly dramatic narrator. Let's just move on to number 2.
Number 2, find a way of getting outside, getting some sunlight, and staying active. Now, you may not want to run 5 miles, but maybe starting by walking 5 miles, or even walking 1 mile to get in those PE requirements would be very beneficial to you. To the CDC, it's recommended that children ages 6 to 17 do at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity on a daily basis.
But maybe you don't want to run 5 miles, or maybe you don't want to run at all. Here we're going to cut over to New York to see how Sophia, Olivia, and Angie are staying active, and they're going to bring us through a very quick but effective workout that could be done at home or outside.
Today we have Angie and Olivia. They're gonna demonstrate a workout. So tell me what you guys are gonna be doing.
Ab workout, 20 crunches.
dying. Next.
Yeah. 40
Yeah.
leg raises. 20 bicycles.
I don't like those. Via? Yeah. Stay hydrated.
20 full extensions.
Yeah, so you guys can enjoy that. Bye.
Girls, thank you so much for sharing your ab workout. It's simple but very effective, and hopefully the rest of you will catch on. It probably only takes 10 to 15 minutes to complete it all, and perhaps you could do multiple cycles as well. A little bit goes a long way. So now let's go to our lipped up data dude as he breaks down some of this information.
Lift up da da, 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 lift up da da. You are lift up da da, dude. I am lift up da da, dude.
500 calories is roughly a slice and a half of pizza, about 7 double stuffed Oreos, a plain bagel with cream cheese, and less than 1 Big Mac.
Thank you so much, lipped up data dude. Your information is invaluable to us.
But not really.
Well, maybe a little. So now let's go to our third and final reflection from Christina's vlog.
Number 3, be in a community. Now I know this is hard because of quarantine, but notice that during Christina's life she was still involved and engaged with talking with friends and also talking with her parents and family. In addition, she was even exercising with her older sister. This is something that health.gov recommends is very important. They suggest that people who exercise in groups are more likely to see results. So those who are working out together with a common goal in mind often do better than those who are isolated. So,
Christina, thank you once again so much for sharing your life with us. If there's one thing that I definitely took away from your video, it's to have a structure for your day. If you kind of know what your day is going to look like before you even wake up and you kind of do similar things each day, it's going to be much easier to accomplish whatever you want.
Coming out of sorts
Sydney, thank you so much for sharing that beautiful song with us to honor your grandfather. If you'd like to hear more of Sydney's music, please go ahead and follow her on Spotify by going to the link that was in that video, bit.ly/Sydney Sherwood. It'll bring you straight to her Spotify page. She has a ton of new music coming out as well, so be sure to check her out. So now I'm going to cut over to a CCS graduate from 1 year ago, AJ, as he shares a little bit about his first year of college. We're going to check in on him, but he's also going to share a lot of great information for all of you high school or even lower kids who eventually are going to apply and get into a college. So let's go to the interview. I thought it would be a good idea to check in with some alumni because, like, when you guys go off, you guys have just left. And really, it was like 10 months ago. It wasn't that long ago that you were here. Like this time last year, you're preparing for finals.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to think about. I'm sure like so much has changed even just over that year for you because of being in college. It's completely different. So let's go back though and just talk about it's around this time last year, right? And you're trying to decide where you're going to college. What was that like for you as a senior, trying to decide where to go? When did you finally figure out where you wanted to go? Cairn, right? You're at Cairn. Yeah. And like just that process. Talk me through that.
Yeah. So Cairn was technically the only school I applied to, but there were a lot of different things that like I was looking at. So I was either looking at Cairn, I was looking at Bible College, I was looking at this worship school in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And there were just like different things that I was like, oh, there was like Brookdale. Like, yeah. And there were different aspects of each of them that I really, really, really wanted. Cairn isn't like the normal like college experience. Like it's not like a Liberty or like a TCNJ or like Rutgers where you'll go and you'll like you have a big school, big campus. I did already know a lot about Cairn because of like people I knew that went there and stuff. I'd been there a bunch of times, and so like I was already familiar with the campus. I was familiar with like some people. Yeah. And so that was already one aspect where it was like I'm not gonna have to worry about completely going in and making new friends. But I started to think about the academics a lot more when it started coming to this time last year. Which was kind of like what I wanted to get a degree in, what I wanted to use that with, what I wanted to do with that in the future. And so with that came the idea of me wanting to like try to figure out whether to go into social work, what business, like what exactly I wanted to do. I'd say what was going through my brain was I was trying to figure out what was best for me instead of what was the most ideal way of living for me. So the most ideal thing was I go to a worship school, play music for like a semester or two, which is fun. Like that's enjoyable. Yeah. And then like finish. But yeah. I realized that there were like I'm not done with school. Like there are still things that I should do that are going to get me farther in life than just going and playing music somewhere, or just going and like reading the Bible at Bible college. So I think my thing was looking at academics and like how I could better myself and learn more things that were going to impact my actual future. So that's why I chose Cairn, because they had a really good, whether I was in between business and like social work, so they had a really good social work and business program. So I was like, just going to go there. Like along the way, we'll figure out what exactly we're going to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like that you said that you kind of had to choose something that is a little bit more realistic and better for your long-term goals. Yeah. Because one thing that I see in years of teaching at CCS is seniors always get caught at this crossroads of, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And you might not know. Even when I was in college, I didn't know that I was going to become a teacher. I wasn't even studying teaching. But like there's this conflict that you have between, well, if I'm going to go away to college and become an adult, like I want to do what I want to do and what I'm passionate about. But you also got to kind of merge that with the reality of you're paying a lot of money for something. You need a return on that investment because you might want to do it now when you're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. But what about when you're 31 and you're looking back and you're like, man, I wish I didn't only go to school to learn music, right? And if that's what you end up doing with your life, great. But so often I see people do that and it becomes a hiccup in their plans. And then they look back and something happens in their life and then they don't finish school. And it's like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do now? I'm 30 years old and I kind of wasted 10 grand or 20 grand or whatever it is. And so I say the same thing with students on picking a major. Yeah. Like, you want to pick something, yes, that you enjoy, but it also has to be somewhat practical. You don't just want to pick something just because you like it. Yeah. And if you are going to do that, you better pick a very cheap school.
I was kind of in between, should I switch to a Bible thing or should I do like pastoral ministry or whatever, or music, or like, because those are the things I really, really enjoy that I want to do now. Yeah. But I think like something that I've been going by is like the idea of like, you're going to have to do things that you don't necessarily love to do in order to get to the place that you want to be. And like, with that, it's like, I'm not in love with all of my social work classes. Like, I'm not in love with all of like my Bible classes right now. But like, in the end, those are going to bring me to somewhere that I want to be and somewhere that I know will be the best for me.
If you're interested in the rest of this interview, me and AJ go over things like how to pay for college, your daily schedule in college, how to pick classes, how to work while you're in college, and just what a normal daily life is like for a college student living on a campus. So if you're interested in watching the rest of that interview, go ahead and click on the link up at the top and you will be taken straight to that video. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for sticking around with us. If not, we'll forgive you. But as the credits roll, we're going to be listening in on one of AJ's songs as well, and we'll see you next time.
Looking through my phone, wish I would've known, but I just can't help but feel alone, yeah. See you on the gram, see you on the cam, I'm just trying to do the best I can, yeah. I've been on my line, trying to fill my time, I just wanna redirect my mind, yeah. I'm just trying to cope, I've been feeling low, but I know I'm always gonna grow, yeah. Running out of time, no I'm not, I'm just 19, looking at my feelings, trying to run instead of fighting. Looking at my God, I'm just trying to do the right thing. Looking at my obstacles, it's just a little frightening. Focus way too much on the relationship